how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 656. Hello, and a very warm welcome from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Giverson Maina. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Now, join us for the next 1 hour for news within, of course, across the country. Now, we take you to Turkana, where leaders and residents from the volatile West Pokot-Turkana border are celebrating a new chapter of peace in an area once plagued by cattle raids and fatal conflicts. Communities that once lived in fear along the Masol Kiriamet area are now calling for sustained harmony as they enjoy the benefits of calm and stability. Leaders and residents led by Pokot South Member of Parliament David Kosing joined the celebrations, urging both communities to embrace the prevailing peace as a symbol of reconciliation and unity. A bull was slaughtered and traditional ritual sealing their commitment to peaceful coexistence. Residents say the peace has already transformed their lives. Take a look.
Mimi ni chairman ya Masol Sacco ambaye Mheshimiwa Ruto ametupatia pesa through county government kwa agriculture, ambaye tuko na ofisi pale tunataka tufungue leo, ambaye vijana tumeambia kuna pesa hapa, ukilete ng'ombe yako 2 ugusa unapata pesa zingine unafanya biashara, na wamefurahia jinsi
pata amani. Kwa sababu ya nini? Kwa sababu wakati huu tunaenda goldi bila matatizo yoyote, tunatembea bila matatizo yoyote, tunakaa tukilala hata nje bila matatizo yoyote.
And we have come here for Christmas season celebrations. We have come to share the small resources we have with our community to eat with them. In fact, we started by eating a bull with Wazee here, and this eating is for peace. We are informing our people, we are encouraging our people to maintain peace so that we eat Christmas with a lot of peace.
And our courts users in Thika have accredited alternative dispute resolution, teamwork and firm leadership for the remarkable transformation of Thika law courts over the past 4 years. Speaking during celebrations to mark the court's 4-year achievement, Law Society of Kenya Thika Chapter Chairperson Daniel Gashao said the adoption of alternative mediation mechanisms has significantly improved access to justice, reduced a case backlog and restored public confidence in the court. Now, the ceremony also doubled as a farewell ceremony for Thika Chief Magistrate Stella Atambo, who has been transferred to Kibera Law Courts after serving in Thika for 4 years.
Actually, half of those cases can be resolved by way of alternative dispute resolution, be it court annexed mediation, be it informal mediation, be it negotiations, reconciliations. And at Thika Law Courts, we've adopted that approach, and each court has their own ADR register so that we are able to tell how we are doing in terms of persuading parties to get a solution for themselves, by themselves, for themselves.
Before Honorable Otambo came, there was no high court in Thika. But through collaboration with the stakeholders, that is the members of Courtesans Committee and largely the Law Society of Kenya, we managed to have a high court in Thika, and based on that, we celebrate her tenure and her tour of duty in Thika Law Courts.
She has been of help to us whenever we appear before them in CUC meeting, presenting our issues as a prison department in terms of congestion, decongestion of prisons, in terms of review of the bond terms and bails for inmates, so that we reduce the number of those inmates in custody.
Now, a family in Garissa County is calling for justice following the death of its kin, who served as a General Service Unit GSC officer at the Damajale camp near the Kenya-Somalia border. 25-year-old Hussein Mohammed's body, which is currently preserved at the Garissa Referral Hospital morgue, was discovered a few meters from the camp, with preliminary investigations pointing to suicide. The family and local leaders are, however, dismissing the reports, even as they call on the DCI to conduct further investigations and unearth the cause of the young man's demise.
Wenye tumeangalia mwili wake, brother wangu aliuliwa. Angekuwa commit suicide according to their history, that's not a suicidal thing. It is not. Because whoever does suicide, if you check the picture well, that's not a suicidal thing.
Na tunashuku ya kwamba huyu amewawa na wale watu wako karibu au wafanyakazi kati yao waliofanya kazi pamoja na wao.
We highly suspect his death to be very mysterious, and there was foreplay in the circumstances in which he died. The young officer was a very dedicated young man, serving his country at the border, trying to defend the country from insurgents from across the country.
And a family in Kericho County is mourning following the alleged killing of their daughter by her lover in Eldoret, Uasin County. 29-year-old Faniz Chepkoech is said to have been strangled by her lover Jonah Yetor, who later took his own life, with the family now raising the alarm on a rise in domestic violence. The deceased body was taken to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital morgue in Eldoret.
Naniambia umesikia maneno ya Chepkoech, eti amepelekwa hospitali, eti pumzi iko chini. Tukaanza safari ya kwenda Eldoret. Nikiwa njiani, vile tumefika tuna deals, nikaanza kupiga nduru na nikasikia kweli mtoto wangu hayuko tena, ingawa sikuwa nimeambiwa. I felt it.
Mtoto yetu alinyongwa na rafikie kijana ambaye anaitwa Chona. Mtoto yetu alikuwa mtoto mtulivu. Alinyongwa kwa sababu ya biashara zake.
I stand with whoever advocates for gender violence. This thing is rampant, and as much as possible, it should be stopped.
Now we take you to Nakuru County, where the teachers' community held promoters village elders, and 2 community-based organizations, namely Let's Talk About It Initiative and SOAR Kenya Foundation in Mauche Ward within Njoro Sub-County in Nakuru County, have rolled out a 3-day outreach sensitization program on the dangers of clinging to cultural practices that are harmful to women and girls. Now, Let's Talk About It Initiative Executive Director Chepkirui Ruto says the move has been prompted by the growing number of married women undergoing female genital mutilation in the area.
FGM has been a really problem in this area. We've had more than 100 girls. This year alone, we've had more than 100 girls go through FGM. And sadly, the parents are supporting FGM. So having to educate the young girls will at least teach them to advocate for themselves so that they can avoid FGM.
Wamama wenye wanaenda chandoni area hii wamekuwa wengi sana. So tumeokopa maisha ya hao wasichana wadogo. Wakionyeshwa hiyo na washike waende na hawa, watapotea wengi, hawatasoma.
In my school, I have 15 mothers, teenage mothers. And we also have girls who got pregnant, but they had no chance to come back to school. The 15 I have here had a chance to come back to school because of their parents.
Now, tourism in the South Coast region is expected to receive a major boost this Christmas season following a rise in the number of local tourists visiting Kwale County to experience its diverse attractions. Now, the anticipated growth comes after the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, through the Kenya Tourism Board, launched the Hapa ni Wapi campaign under the Tembea Kenya initiative, which aims to attract 5.5 million domestic tourists by the year 2027. The program seeks to promote lesser-known tourist destinations across the country while ensuring visitors have great access to these sites, particularly during the festive Christmas and New Year period. Now, meanwhile, Shedrick Falls has continued to grow both locally and internationally. Shimba Hills National Reserve in Kwale County. The waterfalls are among the key attractions expected to further strengthen the tourism sector under the ongoing campaign, which is being rolled out through the Magical Kenya platform.
Usually in Kenya you think about it being rangelands or you think about the ocean, but here it's bush, and so you have a different kind of wildlife, different kind of ecosystem. It's nice to see.
I can't believe I only read about this in my primary school, and many years later is just the time I'm coming to see the Shedrick Falls. It's very, very beautiful, very cool, very, very relaxing. I have enjoyed my...
Na vile tumefika hapa, tumekuja kama tumesweat kabisa. Sasa mnaona vile sasa saizi tumepata hiyo cool weather. Na sisi tunataka nyinyi wote. Unaona hii place tumetembea kama 3 kilometers. Saa hizi magari tuliacha huko. Sasa sisi tunawa welcome, mfike, mjue Kwale pia kuna hizi hidden games, kuna wanyama hapa, tumeona forest.
And I want to take you live to Eastleigh, where the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, is currently addressing on matters of security during the festive season. Let's listen in.
Peace is valuable. It is important. It is selfless. There's no need to harm one another because of some differences.
But the last one, people, Kenyans are asking me what's the reason behind that.
As I have said, that there are various situations in there, ranging from land, ranging from just animosity, others just for the sake of incitement. So the active investigation that is ongoing now will reveal the motive of people and their intentions. And definitely they will face the laws of this country.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With the permission of the DIG.
So that I think he wants.
No, wait for the DIG to say?
Well, back to local issues and the reason why we're here. I want to say that I'm happy that the DIG has joined us for the opening of California Police Station. I want to thank the business community who have been involved in this public-private partnership to develop this police station. We are happy that the police have now more than 4 police stations in our constituency. We didn't have that many police stations when I became an MP. And now in the Christmas period, and we hope that there will be safe and security throughout our constituency. We are urging the DIG that we need more police officers in this neighborhood. We need a police vehicle to help them patrol the neighborhood, because none of the police posts and the police stations in Kamkunji have a police vehicle apart from Shaurimoyo. And then also we have impressed on the DIG that Kamkunji as a constituency needs a central command. At the moment, our OCPD, we have 2 OCPDs, one in Buruburu, one in Pangani. This is a neighborhood with a very big population, a lot of security issues. It is imperative that we have the OCPD based here in Kamkunji, preferably at Shaurimoyo. And we're looking forward to that deployment as soon as possible. I just want to wish everybody else a happy Christmas, to our brothers who are practicing Christianity, because this is a predominantly a Muslim neighborhood. A happy Christmas and a happy New Year.
DIG Eliud Lagat speaking, and not the IG Douglas Kanja, as we had earlier said. Now, of course, more details to follow in our subsequent bulletin. And now, from that, more than 500 vulnerable residents of Nakuru town have received early Christmas support after Remnant's Missionaries International donated foodstuffs and clothing during the festive season. Now, outreach, the beneficiaries aged between 11 and 70 years included the elderly, orphans, widows, and low-income families. The donors said the initiative aimed to restore dignity and ensure the vulnerable can celebrate Christmas with hope. The organization, which has run feeding and clothing programs for 4 years, called on Kenyans to show compassion and, of course, support the less fortunate during the festive season.
Hawa watoto ndio baraka, hawa ndio viongozi wa kesho, hawa ndio tunawahitaji, hawa ndio madaktari wa kesho. Leo kwanza tumekuja tunakula chakula pamoja na wao mahali hapa. Kwa magari zetu kuna manguo ambazo tumeletea hawa watoto, na tumewaletea nafasi ambayo wanaweza kuja hata hao wengine wakisherekea kule nje na nguo mpya, hata hao watavaa nguo mpya Christmas.
Katika msimu wa Christmas ningehimiza hao viongozi wengine wote wakuwe wanafanya hivyo, wanatukumbuka na wanatuletea vyakula, wanatuletea manguo, nasi watoto wetu wanakaa kama wale watoto wengine. Yeah. Mwito wangu ni kuambia kila mzazi aajibike na mtoto wake. Hakuna kitu kiko na uchungu kama mtoto amepelekwa children's home, anajua mamangu hako, babangu hako.
Now, a section of ODM leaders are pushing for renewed political negotiations with the ruling UDA party before the 2027 general election. Now, speaking in Lugari constituency, Kakamega County, during a visit to the home of the late former Lugari MP, Cyrus Jirongo, ODM National Chairperson and Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, together with Suna East MP Junet Mohammed, said the current power-sharing deal does not reflect ODM's value in the coalition. Elsewhere, Embu Senator Alexander Mundigi now says he will not be cowed by expulsion by Democratic Party for supporting the ruling UDA party.
ODM National Chairperson and Homa Bay County Governor Gladys Wanga, together with Suna East MP Junet Mohammed, while visiting the rural home for former minister the late Cyrus Jirongo, argued that the positions allocated to ODM party under the broad-based government arrangement are not sufficient.
Lakini sasa tukienda 2027, lazima watu wakae chini waongee. Sisi kama chama tujikaze, tukiunde, tukae ngumu, tukae kwa grassroots, tukuje kwa meza. tunataka tujue ni nini iko ndani ya hii, si kwenda tufwa. Na sasa sisi tuko kwa broad based na tuko na hakika ya kwamba vitu ambaye tumeelewana katika serikali ya broad based watatimiza. Lakini sasa tunaingia kwa mwaka ya kujipanga 2026, tuko Disemba. Lazima watu wajipange. Si kuna uchaguzi na kwa 2027. Lazima watu wajipange. ODM pia anajipanga. Hawezi kukaa tu atiwana katika broad based.
They noted that ODM's continued support for President William Ruto's 2027 bid will depend on fresh talks and better share of the government opportunities.
Hata mambo ya broad base, sisi hatupingi broad base, lakini mjue kando na broad base tuko na 10 points agenda. 10 points agenda, ukiongea juu ya broad base, ongea juu ya 10 points agenda.
Meanwhile, Embu Senator Alexander Mundigi says he will not be intimidated by Democratic Party's move to expel him for campaigning for UDA's Leonard Wamuthende in the recently concluded by-elections.
Niambie wale watu wanasema Embu County kutakuwa by-election. Niwaambie tena hiyo ni ndoto ya mchana. Watu wa Embu County walimpatia kura 81,000 na tukiwa watu 12 kwa miaka. Contract ile wamenipatia ni contract ya miaka 5. Na wakati nilichaguliwa na chama ya Democratic Party of Kenya DP katika muungano ya Kenya Kwanza.
The communication of his removal was relayed to him a week ago while on official duty in Uganda. In defense, Senator Mudigi says he did nothing wrong for campaigning for Wamuthende since DP was still a member of the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition. Gishoke Washira, Lunchtime News.
And now away from politics, teachers across the country have been advised to maintain unity in order to effectively push for their demands. I was speaking during unveiling of 8.5 million shillings bus belonging to the Kilifi branch of Kenya Union of Post-Primary Teachers. The union's leaders, led by the Kilifi branch Kupet Secretary Caleb Mogere, also demanded the Teachers Service Commission to employ the junior secondary school teachers on permanent and pensionable basis.
We have proper advocacy currently that is securing jobs for our colleagues, proper agitation that has helped teachers even in getting hardship allowance, working BBF, which used not to work for the teachers, and we are aiming at improving the rates in our next term in office. Working co-curriculum fund, emergency fund, proper representation, and etc.
We've suffered a lot. Our teachers have been troubled while traveling. Transporting teachers to different functions and destinations previously has been a silent burden, but I believe that one is a story that is forgone.
And our banking institutions have been urged to create youth-friendly products to attract the young population and encourage them to develop a saving culture. Now, Anglican Church of Kenya, Mount Kenya South Diocese Bishop Reverend Charles Muturi noted that the youth make up about 70% of the country's population and therefore cannot be ignored. He also appealed to revelers not to overindulge during the Christmas festivities and also asked motorists to drive with caution to avoid accidents.
Every sector, whether it is the church or the bank or one of us should be geared now towards the young people. Secondly, the young people are the people who have better jobs today. They are better paid, so they have money. Even those who are not fully employed, they are businessmen and businesswomen, and they are making good money. So if you want Dimcast to grow, it has to shift its concern from people from my age to people who are young people.
Here in Ruiru, we have more than 1 million people plus. So this is the right time for the youths to be encouraged to invest to have a saving culture, so that whatever they get, whatever small it is, they should invest in such circles.
Another story takes us to a very short commercial break. Don't go too far. Still so much more coming your way.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital. Now, our apologies for that technical hitch there. Welcome back. You're watching KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. And now Nairobi County government is exploring a public-private partnership deal to finance a waste recycling facility. Nairobi County Food, Agriculture and Natural Resources Chief Officer says the facility will mainly utilize food waste from markets across Nairobi to make organic manure and animal feed. Take a look.
Organic waste makes up 60% of all 3,800 tons of solid waste generated in Nairobi daily. Out of this, only 2,800 tons of the organic waste is collected, with most of it ending up in dump sites that have exceeded their holding capacity. To address this, the Devolve unit is scouting for a public-private partnership deal for construction of a factory to recycle the organic waste.
We will need, because we have around 17 food markets, and so we will need around over 200 million so that this is realized. So this money alone, the county cannot be able to raise. And even capacity building is not very easy for the city vendors.
Already, Alliance of Biodiversity International and the International Center for Tropical Agriculture have sealed a 2-year deal to recycle organic market waste from the Nairobi metropolitan area into organic fertilizer and protein-rich animal feed using insects.
We recycle the waste and we train them on how to recycle that waste to several products. 1 is organic fertilizer, and 2, using the black soldier fly approach, they are going to get the black soldier fly larva, which then can be a protein source for animal feed.
The deal involves training traders on sorting and aggregating the organic waste, as well as facilitating residents to produce soldier fly larvae for making animal feed and organic manure.
There are a number of those opportunities which the youth can be able to exploit. They can be able to get in these spaces and manage this kind of waste and eventually create employment for themselves and even for other youth.
If you look at this waste in a positive way, you can actually recycle that waste and you get products that can be beneficial to people. And that's why this project is coming to address exactly that problem.
Benson Rioba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Now, about 23,000 households and businesses in Migori County are set to be connected to the national grid under the last mile connectivity project. Now, Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi says the electricity connection is part of the government's plan to power public institutions and the public so as to enhance delivery of public service as well as support economic ventures. He spoke during the opening of Kanyimach Secondary School built through the National Government Constituency Development Fund in Rongo Sub-County.
Serikali kuu kupitia bunge imeweka pesa kwa bajeti shilingi bilioni 2.3 2.3 billion shillings in Migori County for purposes of connecting electricity to households. Hiyo pesa ikitumika itakuwa umeunganisha stima kwa households karibu 25,000 katika hii kaunti ya Migori. Vile vile hii constituency ya Rongo ikapewa pesa taslimu karibu shilingi milioni 170 kuunganisha households au manyumba karibu 2,000 chini ya mheshimiwa Paul Abu. Hiyo ni pesa ambayo haijawahi onekana eneo hili tangu tupate huru.
The government, through the Ministry of Tourism, has been urged to support the Mrs. Tourism event that is scheduled to be held in Kenya as the country gears up to lobby for the Miss Tourism Africa 2026 event to be hosted in Kenya. Now, this comes after the Miss Tourism Kenya board, led by current chairlady Esther Wangeshi, received the African President Miss Tourism last night at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as part of the organizers in the next Miss Africa competition. Speaking after receiving the president, Wangeshi said it's a milestone to Kenya as they showcase the local tourism through their beauty pageants that has earned them accolades across African continent, saying it is a wake-up call to the Kenya Tourism Board to come in handy and support their beauty pageants in a bid to embrace their cultural diversity across borders. She also called upon the cabinet stakeholders to come and support the beauty pageants in Kenya as they showcase their talents and represent Africa in global awards as a way of embracing our cultural diversity.
This pageant starts from the county levels, and given that our 2025 winner came from Isiolo, means that every part of this country can produce a beauty pageant who can equally and comfortably compete in the international arena.
Tourism in Kenya is quite robust. I want to believe and I would wish that we can embrace tourism more, especially local tourism, and that is exactly what Miss Tourism Kenya does.
Kenya is one of our strategic and very strongest partners, and one of the things that we've decided to do as an organization is to be able to physically meet with some of our strategic partners.
Really hoping next year the lady who's gonna go and represent our country should also push forward and maybe bring the title home.
Now listen to this. How far have you ever cycled, and for what reason? Now, well, 40 cyclists drawn from Malindi have embarked on 1,500 kilometers journey from Malindi to Kampala, Uganda, to raise awareness about arthritis and raise 20 million shillings to build arthritis center at Lukuyani, Kakamega County. Achola Simon caught up with the team at Kango Kajaramogi in Bondo, Siaya County, and files the following story.
At exactly 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, a group of 40 cyclists arrived at Kango Kajaramogi in Bondo, Siaya County to pay homage to the late Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. They have endured a 7-day ride from Malindi town all the way to Kakamega County, then eventually to Kango Kajaramogi, as they seek to raise awareness on arthritis and raise 20 million Kenya shillings to build an arthritis center in Lukuyani, Kakamega County.
Yenye sisi kule nyumbani mali tunatoka, unapata kwa every home hapa kosi kwamba kuna mtu mmoja anaugua ugonjwa wa arthritis. So it has been a challenge. Na sisi kule nyumbani tunaichukulia kama mzaa. Wengine wanasema kwamba ni uchawi. Nilipita shamba ya mtu amenikanyaga mguu. They don't believe kwamba ni ugonjwa kama zile zingine.
And unfortunately I have a family member who suffers from arthritis, and sometimes it becomes so painful seeing them and there's nothing you can do. So as I joined this campaign, it was for my family to gain knowledge and to also get to understand how we can, how it comes about, how we can prevent it, and maybe management measures.
The group will then proceed to Kampala, Uganda, as they seek to cover 1,500 kilometers.
Changamoto tumekuwa nao barabarani ni nyingi. And that's why waga nasema kwamba chenye baba alitufunza kwamba ukijua unafanya kitu kizuri, upewa tu unapigwa. Kama baba alishikwa, alifungwa, ilifika mpaka katoroka mpaka Kenya. Sisi pia pale barabarani, trailer na kutoa nje ya barabara, mvua inakunyeshea, tuko na challenges kama za puncture, breakdown, all of them, but hatuja give up.
Elizabeth Okoth, a public health specialist, says lack of national data on arthritis has hampered efforts to manage or verify the exact effects of the disease on the economy.
One of the things we are really pushing for is, can we start from even having this data? Can it be recognized as one NCD, which is taking so many people out of the workforce? Because all these people can't. What is the economic ninio to the country? And what about to their own family?
Okoth is calling for more deliberate efforts from the government to ensure the rising cases of arthritis in the country are checked. She says myths around arthritis have made it difficult to decisively deal with the condition in its early stages, a situation she blames on lack of proper information by members of the public.
There's a lot of myths. Wengine wanasema it's witchcraft. Others say, oh, it's an old people's disease. Yeah, it's not old people's. There's even arthritis for children. It's called juvenile arthritis. Yeah, but arthritis is, I would call it a general term for these conditions that cause, either inflammation, pain, stiffness, and that swelling of the joints.
She also debunks common belief that the condition is predominantly for older people. She advises people to check on their weight as precautionary measure to check arthritis.
It can be managed, yeah, and it's good to get it early. And the treatment and management really, it depends on its stage, on the type. We've talked of different type.
The cyclist got a major boost as Special Economic Advisor in the office of the President Jaoko Oburu pledged to take over as the patron of the group.
So by you uniting together on a cause, a noble cause like arthritis, to see that arthritis patients are treated, healed, this is a big cause. And I am happy today, and I am very honored that this team has come, and while they surprised me, but they surprised me well.
Achola Simon, Lunchtime News, Kisumu County.
Such a noble cause by cyclists right there. Now, the Horn of Africa Gateway Road Development Project, in partnership with the Catholic Diocese of Isiolo, has scaled up efforts to combat gender-based violence, GBV, through community sensitization forums and sporting activities along the project corridor. Now, the project entails the construction of 750-kilometer road running from Isiolo to Mandera through Modogashe. Now, the initiatives target indigenous communities living through or rather along the route, with a focus on promoting women's rights and raising awareness on GBV. Through dialogue and community engagement, the project aims to strengthen prevention, reporting, and collective responsibility in addressing violence against women and girls.
When we started working here and we did our gender assessment, we understood that women are rarely accessing education facilities. Women are rarely into technical work, which the project is all about. So we've reserved specific jobs for women to be able, as much as possible, to attract women into these jobs. Tasked to mitigate and prevent all incidents of GBV in the project. So today we have a football tournament between the Community FC and Project FC, engaging project workers who are male through the EMAP approach. The EMAP approach is engaging men through accountable practices.
We have several forms of sexual gender-based violence. Number one is rape. Two is sexual assault. Three is a physical assault. Four, we have a sexual advances or a denial of resources or opportunities. Another one is psychological and emotional torture.
Kuna wamama walishare out na 300,000 hapa Karbatula. Na hiyo yote imeletwa na hii project kwa sababu wamama wana save. Kwa hiyo biashara yao wanapata kwa sababu watu ni wengi, wanauza mboga tofauti tofauti, wanauza fruits. So wamama wamefaidika sana.
And away from that, youths in the country have been encouraged to invest in skills training and nurture their talents as a pathway to self-employment and sustainable livelihoods amid rising unemployment in the country. Now, the call was made at the graduation ceremony of 30 trainees at Kenjack Enterprise, where the institution's director, Jacqueline Birundi, praised the competency-based education for its focus on practical skills acquisition from an early age. Now, Birundi urged young people to make productive use of the long school holidays by enrolling in short technical courses, particularly in dressmaking and tailoring, saying such skills can empower them economically.
We have so many activities, like now crocheting ni kazi ya mikono, sewing clothes ni kazi ya mikono, kuna printing tunafanya mahali pale, kuna project like bag making, yani mtu anaweza kuspecialize kwa kutengeneza bagi tu na anauza.
Good opportunity behind that is that you can get the job, you can even employ yourself. Then number 3, you can even teach another person about the skill. But there is an imbalance between male and female.
Now let's get sporty. Our host Morocco opened the 35th African Cup of Nations in style with a dominant performance, beating Comoros by 2 unanswered goals in a rain-drenched Group A match on Sunday night at the 67,000-seater Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat. Take a look.
A nation overseen by that man's father, King Mohammed VI. That is Prince Moulay Abdallah, after whom this stadium in Rabat is named.
The opening match of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations between hosts Morocco and Comoros was preceded by a colorful opening ceremony graced by FIFA President Gianni Infantino, CAF President Dr. Motsepe Patrice, and Crown Prince Hassan Moulay El Hassan as Nigeria pop star Davido, French Montana, and Red One were among other artists to light up the opening ceremony. The Atlas Lions began the match sluggishly without their key player Ashraf Hakimi, who started on the bench upon return from injury, with Comoros playing combatively for the opening half an hour. The home side was forced to make an early change in the first half after their captain Romain Saiz, with slightly over 60,000 home fans who persevered through the chilly weather, had something to smile about with the victory as they now focus on their second match against Mali on Boxing Day before wrapping up their Group A assignment against Zambia on the 30th of this month. The tournament enters its day 2 today with 3 matches on card, 1 in Group A and 2 opening Group B matches. Zambia's Chipolopolo will take on the Eagles of Mali at 5 p.m. in Group A at the Mohammed VI Stadium in Casablanca, before the action shifts to Group B in Marrakech Stadium starting at 8 p.m., where South Africa will take on Angola. The Adrar Stadium in Agadir will host the final game tonight starting at 11 p.m. between Egypt and Zimbabwe. The continental tournament, to be played across 6 cities, will see the final being played on the 18th of next month.
How does he do it? How does he do it?
And now away from AFCON, Morgan Rogers struck twice as Aston Villa extended their winning run to 10 matches. In all competitions, their best run as a top-flight club since 1914 by beating Manchester United 2-1 at Villa Park. It was a bad day for United head coach Ruben Amorim, who lost a talisman Bruno Fernandes to injury at half-time and was already without 6 senior players through a combination of injury, suspension, and the 2025 African Cup of Nations duty before Kobe Maina pulled out pre-game with a calf problem.
Dorgu dispossessing Cash. 1-1. Can't give him space, and they've done it.
Now, that was a bad day in office for the Red Devils, but we always come back bigger and better. And now, that's all. We end our lunchtime news on KBC Channel 1 for now. My name is Giverson Maina. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. And until next time, it's bye-bye for now.
Kijana amekuwa mkubwa. Sasa hii amefika 19.
Baba hakuna grade 19.
Nini unafanya huko kwa shamba nafunda?
Namtayarisha kwa sababu ya ule mwenye ako karibu kufika.
Unajuana na mama Kayaye? Sasa hizi vitu zangu nilikuwa nataka niwekee kama mahali kwa fridge hivi.
Na unaendesha bike aje? Sasa ungeniangusha.
Tarudi na hizi mamizigo zako.
Nakufanya kitu mbaya wewe.
Hebu tuanisha toa. Kwenda nazo kabisa, sitaki kuziona hapa tena.
Wewe hapo umekocha kukonywa na wewe ni pata Christmas.
Mimi ni baba Kasolo Koyolo.
Wacha